Today is the day. You're about to hear 6 super cool stories about the brain that will attempt to help you with mnemonics, so try to enjoy. So, there's a clique of friends who are always together, interacting, and are super close. They like to call themselves the limbic system. I can't talk to a single one of them without the other two trailing along. The other day, I asked Hypothalamus to hang out, but of course he wouldn't unless he called up his buddies Hippocampus and Amygdala to come along. We all went out to get hot chocolate, but someone, Hypothalamus, got irritating because he complained that his drink made him too hot and that he wasn't thirsty anymore. Hippocampus and Amygdala weren't any better. They got so emotional after smelling hot chocolate, remembering their childhood Christmases together. The pond's bridge at the pond allows people to transport past the bridge in order to get to their brains. But, of course, a monster named the Brainstem surrounds the pond's bridge and the pond, controlling people's involuntary actions and basic survival needs. Not only that, but they have to get through another monster named the Medulla, who stands in front of the pond's bridge and casts spells over the people trying to pass the bridge. The Medulla takes control of their breathing and heart rates, before finally sending them past the monster Brainstem, across the pond's bridge, and finally into the brain. Cal is a CEO who owns his own major corporation, the Corpus Callosum. In his corporation, his desk is in the middle of the huge building. There are always countless calls from the left and the right parts of the building trying to communicate with each other. The ringing and constant communication between the two sides begins to irritate the temporary employee, the temporal lobe, who complains of the endless ringing he hears. Cal tells him to calm down because he'll be gone soon enough. Shortly after, a pair of new interns arrived named the parietal lobes. Cal tries to shake their hands, but they felt that Cal had too strong of a handshake. Sarah loves bells. Whenever I see her, she is always trying to balance bells on her nose. She's actually really good at it, and she seems to have really good coordination. She was so confident in her balance and coordination of the bells on her nose, she decided to name it after her, the Sarah Bell. Most men in G's car dealership are very protective of their cars they want, the cerebrums. They use the strong and thick membranes of their muscles to cover the cerebrums for protection so no foreign invaders, or actual paying customers, get near the cars. The men in G's car dealership had recently designated a security guard who pays close attention to the threat of potential customers to the cerebrums, the thalamus. He diligently awaits to receive signals from the other security guards on the outside of the building, the auditory cortex, the sensory cortex, the motor cortex, and the visual cortex, and he is the one who gets to decide where to send each guard in order to keep the cars from being bought. My cousin Insula is such an adrenaline junkie. She is addicted to drugs and to the rewarding feeling of a rush. She even set up her own synthesizer to help feed her addictions, the VTA. He is the boss, let me tell you. He makes dopamine and he sends them to his own group of followers, the nucleus accumbens. They will literally do anything he says to get their hands on the rewarding feeling of the drug dopamine.